Hi, we are live. This is Andrea Porter with the Entertainment Entrepreneurs Community on Google+. I'm going to take it slow and easy, and this might be a little bit longer address than I usually do in the weekly videos, because I would like to recap last week and why last week is so very, very important and what I did. Last week is all about getting your focus for your overall vision of success for you. And there are a few guiding principles you must include. There's enough for everybody, really. Nobody's version is going to look like yours. So you can absolutely have everything you want. So there's enough for everybody. And it has to be best for everybody. It has to be, your vision can't really include anything bad for anyone else for it to work. So I hope you included those. And some of the things that I did last week that helped me get my vision under control, and I talked about vision boards. I made a post for a link for those of you who are interested in following that activity. And I tried to do that, and I've done that successfully in the past. However, this week, the longhand version and writing it out with handwriting is what got me inspired. And sometimes looking at numbers helps. And thinking about when I began to track my ArtUS numbers with this formula and the steady increase that we've seen due to the efforts, that really encouraged me in this next phase, in this next cycle, because we're starting a new one. We're all starting a new cycle together in this new cycle to refocus. So I'm just going to drop some of those numbers on you for the new people who are here. I'm so excited about the new folks that are joining every week and finding us, and welcome. I hope you find this a very safe and inviting place to learn how to run your business. So recapping some of the stats for my artists and noticing the improvement over the past 4 quarters, because we've all completed a year in April. Well, maybe not all of us, because everybody's joining at different times. But when I began the official stat keeping, the record keeping on this beta test for the artists that I was currently working the closest with, there's been an approximate 65% increase in average performance fees. I'm not going to give you specific numbers here out of consideration and just good old common sense, but that was a 65% average increase in the performance fees. That's pretty good number for a working artist. And if you can keep up any increase at that point after that, with some creative budgeting, that could certainly be a very livable wage. Twitter went up 16%. That might sound a little small after I just dropped that 65% on you, but Twitter marketing is very genre specific. Those folks that stick with you on Twitter, they are really, really interested in what you have to offer if they're going to stick with you. And so slow and steady is sustainable. I'm really proud of that number, because I know that those are quality fans. Those are quality contacts, people who spend money on downloads, people who buy stuff and have it shipped to them, people who will show up on concerts, people who are also tracking on bands in town, which is really popular with iPhone and smartphone users. I really like to see that increase. That was increased 38% over the past year. Those of you who do Reverb Nation stuff, somebody asked me, how in the blue blazes do you get your song plays up to 28,000 plus? It's 28,500 something when I check. Consistency and just sticking with this. That's how you do it. There was no trick to that. There was no trick to that other than consistency. And then the Google Plus page views are over 23,000, which I think is an insane number, because I really haven't done anything with the Google Plus actively. I've messed around with it, but I haven't really put a lot of energy into it. So I think that just kind of got sucked into this vortex of all the other social media stuff we were focusing on. So that's my success story for the beta year, and what I spent a lot of time thinking about on my Vision Week, and what that might look like for each and every one of you in here, because I'm going to take all of that success, energy, and numbers and project it onto you now, because I want to see you report these kind of increases. So the next thing that we're going to do is week number 2. This is the focus week that I get a lot of grumbles and complaints on, but this is the focus week that's going to bring our very important Money Mondays into focus. So Money Mondays, you're going to hear me say that almost every week. It's Money Monday, do your 15 minutes. So what that means is you've all been working very hard this weekend. You've been gigging, you've been playing, you've got your pay, and you've also got your receipts, and you just need to spend about 15 minutes. If you bought some strings at the guitar store, that's a write-off now. That's a business expense. You need to make sure that goes in the right place and that you account for that you put some aside for your rent. That's budgeting. It doesn't have to be a nightmare, especially in the beginning. Take it slow. It doesn't have to be a stressful event. And you're absolutely allowed to set a timer and let yourself off the hook when it goes off. It's okay. It won't be so daunting. So the very next thing that's on this week, you'll notice that we have kind of a dual focus, is budgeting, and then 80-20 splits. This is, you're running a business now. You are entertainment entrepreneurs. You can no longer afford to waste time on inefficient actions. So what this is you're going to consider the things that you do, and you're going to sort of cut out that inefficient action. And you'll notice that 20% of the hard work gets 80% of the results. So you really need to focus on, are you, when you're, let's go to booking week, for instance. Are you really spending time calling 80% of the venues that are not going to hire you? And do you think that there are 20% of the cream of the crop things that you really have a better chance at? I'm sure you do if you put a little thought into it. So then you should focus on that top 20%. You got to cut 80% of the fat and make that 20% of efficient action excellent. And then you will increase your speed. So that's all I have to say this week. Thank you for waiting until Monday for the video. You'll see I don't have my pictures on the wall yet. I do in front of me, but I don't have them on the wall behind me yet. So we will all improve every week. Have a great one. Keep being awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you. Bye.